During the full moon in Gemini, we experience dual energies as one. And we see the details and the big picture when it's met with the Sagittarius sun. So stand in your power, illuminate your stories, and rewrite them from within. Connect to the world, make new moves, and let curiosity win. Are you ready to make a genuine, intentional change? Welcome back to the Magic is Messy podcast. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, sisters and misters, witches and wizards, to all the freaks and the geeks and the magical peeps out there in airwave land. Welcome back to the Magic is Messy podcast. I, as always, am your host, Kitty, and you, as always, are awesome for joining me on these airwaves. Thank you so much for being here. And speaking of air, during the last full moon of 2024, we are being swept up into the winds of the Gemini twins. So what does that even mean, Kitty? Well, boys, girls, the diamonds and pearls, I am ready to jump on my broomstick and let's fly right into it. Shall we? Shall we? Yes, we shall. As with every full moon, the Earth is in the sandwich of opposing energies. Correction, the peak energies, as we are now at the climax of our lunar phase, our current lunar phase, and we are also at the culmination of the Gemini new moon roughly 6 months ago in June. Now, during our last episode, we unloaded all the info about our current sun sign, which is Sagittarius, the Archer, and their quest for excitement and expansion and adventure and understanding of how the world goes around, round and round. Now, as we are adding the windy Gemini vibes into the mix, you may feel, sweet souls, that you are ready to burst into flames. Because when you add fire, or air to fire, I should say, air, Gemini, into fire, Sagittarius, you may feel like you are ready to burst. And that is rad, because we are at the last full moon of 2024, y'all. So you might be feeling like you have this abundance of passionate energy to work with. A nice little spark under your ass, so to speak. Boo, hoo, 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 hoo. So if you're feeling on a restless tip kind of a thing, or you're on a quest to get shit done, know that you are not the only one, honey bun. I'm the only one. I actually personally super dig this full moon because both of these energies are extremely optimistic, communicative, and willing to take chances and try new things to gain new perspectives and experience life in all aspects. And also, take what you need to the rest. I feel like the opposition of Sagittarius and Gemini, I feel like these signs are probably the closest opposition, meaning that they are, they're not really opposite. They just, like, for example, and we'll get into this a little bit, Gemini sees the details, sees the little things, and wants to gather the pieces of the puzzle, whereas Sagittarius sees the big picture and wants to put all those puzzle pieces that Gemini gathers together. So I feel that this opposition is actually one that helps these signs work together as one. Now, they see things from different angles, but they can also, like I said, put together the planetary puzzle together, and they can relate to a myriad of different people. Gemini, represented by the twins, are chitty chatty, kitty catty, and always up for a spin in the social scene. And side bay, fun fact, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, right? Are we in a retrograde right now? I think we just got out of a retrograde. Gemini is the planet of communication. Mercury is the planet of communication. And this gives Gemini moons a witty, curious, and sometimes mischievous energy. In an ancient mythology, Mercury, or maybe you know it as Hermes, was the god who acted as a messenger between the divine and the mortal realms. So if you have been waiting for a cosmic message, sweet soul, I'm talking to you, this might be the moon to bring it to you, boo. So pay close attention to any synchronicities or any aha moments or any signs that are coming your way. So pay attention, baby. So being the shape shifter of the zodiac, back to Gemini. Gemini is the shape shifter of the zodiac, right? Vogue. They are very fluid and they can mold to their surroundings extremely easily. They are, as I mentioned in my little kitty ditty to start out the episode, they are the sign of duality. And they love to be able to jive with a lot of personalities and chat with a lot of different types of people. And they get off on looking at the world through a lot of different lenses. Yes? Get off. Let a woman be a woman and a man be a man. Get off. If you want to, baby, here I am. And speaking of Gemini, Prince. Prince was a Gemini. And I find him to be literally the quintessential poster child for what shape-shifting truly looks like. If you look back, and I know, I don't know if you're Prince fans out there, but if you've been listening to this podcast, you know that little kitten is a Prince fan. But he had Christopher Tracy in Under the Cherry Moon. He had his female voice named Camille. He had an alter ego named Jamie Starr. He had so many different characters to appease all of his inner facets. So with this full moon, it's a great time to plug into these Gemini energies and to bring all of your facets forward into the universe. Shine bright like a diamond. So maybe you want to use this moon to make moves to, in essence, reinvent yourself potentially, or, take what you need and leave the rest. It's up to you. But as with all full moons, it's a time to celebrate and congratulate. It's a time to use this lunation to illuminate and reevaluate. So take a moment during this last full moon, the last full moon of this Gregorian calendar year, and simmer on what you now want to see in your life. Or now what you see in your life from where you were 6 months / a year ago. Like, what did you accomplish? What did you bring to fruition? Who did you become? What did you create? And how did you grow? And honestly, I'd love to know. Reach out to me at magicismessy.com. And also, Side Bay, I want to take this time to rock a super quick shout out, just really quick. I promise it'll be quick. A shout out to all the peeps that shared episodes on their IG stories, sent this vibe to their friends, mentioned Magic is Messy in their posts, sent me emails about how this podcast helps their personal practice. Mega thanks to all those that left me messages on Spotify, and also all of you that sent me your Spotify Unwrapped, right? I don't know if anyone gets Spotify Unwrapped, or if you haven't checked it out yet, check it out. But so many of you sent me that I was one of the top 5 podcasts of your entire year. And oh my God, goddess, goodness, goddess gracious. That makes my little kitty heart explode into rainbow glitter. And speaking of rainbow glitter, that's a really good color to use for Gemini, but we'll get to that here in a minute with Alter Jazz. But I seriously, if you haven't said hi yet, or you haven't left a message on Spotify, or you haven't reached out, or you've been waiting, I love hearing from you. I love saying hi. I love meeting all of you. And you are all motherfucking rock stars. Just straight up motherfucking rock stars. And I appreciate you from the bottom of my toes to the tip of my little kitty nose. So I just wanted to say that. I feel you, and I am in so much gratitude for your support and your shares and your subscribes and being a part of the Magic is Messy collective. So that's that. Boom bat, diggity dat. Okay, let's get back to the full moon amazingness and dive into these oppositional energies. We always have the high and the low vibes of each sign to be aware of. And when we acknowledge that these vibes are playing out in our own lives, we can make moves to release what no longer serves us and plug into the energies that will help us become a more vibrant version of ourselves. Seriously. And that's what I really love about full moons. When we are sandwiched, right? We are the earth. Right here. Here's the earth, and here's the sun, and here's the moon, and we're in this awesome sandwich of energy. And the cool thing is that no matter what sun sign or moon sign or rising sign or whatever sign you are, it doesn't matter, because you are going to, it matters. Obviously, you matter and your signs matter. But what I'm trying to say is the energies of both the sun and the moon are going to be felt by all of us, because we are all a collective here on Earth, and we are being given this opportunity to plug into the high vibes and release the low vibes of both of the signs that we are working within. So on the lower vibration of Gemini, right, they can be gossipy. Think about chatty, kitty, catty, right? They can be gossipy. They can spread false info in order to stir the pot, little stir the cauldron action. Yeah. Who wants to be gossipy? Ain't nobody got time for that. They also could be insecure, and they have a burning desire to always look good. So they make decisions based on other people's opinions rather than following their inner compass. They are extremely brilliant storytellers because they are the word witches of the zodiac. They are brilliant storytellers, yet on this low vibe, they could be holding on to outdated and oppressive stories from old versions of themselves. Side bay. I dare you. Well, I don't dare you. How about we say I lovingly challenge? I lovingly challenge you, boo, to be willing to illuminate and rewrite your stories with this full moon. So you can get rid of old nasty boys that keep you stuck. And when you get rid of old energy, you make room for new, vibrant badassery in its place. Seriously. And I talked about that in the Kitty Ditty as well. It's time to rewrite your stories from within. And we'll get into that. That's a part of our ritual. We'll get into that here in a moment. Yes? So let's get into the high vibes. So those are the low vibes of Gemini. If you're swimming in any of those, maybe you want to, reevaluate and celebrate and kind of illuminate what needs to be released. But the high vibes of Gemini are vibrant and chatty and radiant and curious. And the twins are all about communication, adaptability, and learning. Both of these signs are about learning. Both of these signs have a lot of qualities that go along with each other. So they're very close in what they enjoy doing. Now, picture this energy, the high vibe of Gemini. Picture this energy as maybe like a buzzing social butterfly flitting from flower to flower, gathering ideas, making connections, sparking conversations. They love talking, and they are the perfect form of duality because they balance two sides of a story, an idea, or a decision. This energy encourages us to stay flexible and open-minded to trying something new. And if you think about that, Gemini is all about trying something new. So is Sagittarius. So this is the perfect full moon energy peak culmination to try something new, baby boo. I'm talking to you. What is it that you've been wanting to do that you've been putting off? Or you're like, oh, that's uncomfortable. I don't want to try that. Go ahead. You'll never know. You're never going to fly unless you try. So jump on that broomstick, boo, and let me see what you can do. Share it with me at magicismessy.com. All right, now the low vibes of saggy naggy, are they can act like a super saggy naggy know-it-all and question everyone else's beliefs so that they themselves aren't the ones being questioned. They act like they know way more. They are better than. So pay attention to maybe if you're plugging into that icky, nasty vibe. They come off as arrogant as fuck and will turn the narrative around so that they are always right. Yeah, so maybe a little manipulative in there a little bit. On the high vibes of Sagittarius, though, we have an adventurous energy that is always seeking excitement in the form of expansion, going somewhere new, learning a new skill, having a new conversation with someone that opens their mind to a new perspective. Stepping into their bold badassery by taking a risk and being unapologetic as fuck as they do it. So step into your unapologetic as fuckness, baby. So when you see both the high and the low vibes of our earth sandwich that we are in right here, which ones do you possess and which ones do you want to address? Which ones do you want and which ones are you maybe no longer proud to flaunt? Yeah, dig it. As always, your practice is your practice, and I'm honored to be a part of it. Yeah. Okay, witches and wizards, how about we jump into some altar jazz? That's kind of the general overall energy of what's going on with our full moon in Gemini here, this last full moon of the 2024 Gregorian year. So how about we jump into some altar jazz and chat about some quick ways to plug into the energy swirling around us. Everyone's gonna be feeling it, y'all. And then we can rock a rad ritual, one rad ritual, and then I will let you go. Your time is super, super precious to me. Seriously, your time is super precious, and I'm absolutely psyched that you're spending it with me, chickadees. But before we do that, shout out to our super sweet sponsor, Beeswax. Thanks to all of those that have grabbed some Blue Lotus love. Yes, Blue Lotus love. I hope you dig adding this euphoric awesomeness to your practice. And if you send me a review, I have a gift for you. So send me a review if you've absolutely loved the Blue Lotus. Tell me what it has done for your practice, if it has opened you up to new perspectives, how it has helped your meditation game. We still have some limited edition bags available, so check out the website, magicismessy.com, to get your hands on some. Also, Beeswax and Magic is Messy have teamed up again for an awesome holiday giveaway. Yay! You can win some super cool stuff to set your year off right. All the info is on my Instagram, or head to the handle at getbeeswax, BEEZWAX, to enter into the drawing with a share and a few likes. All right. We last did our giveaway on Halloween-ish, the Samhain giveaway. So now we have the Yule giveaway, and I guarantee you'll love it. Stupid jokes, kitty. All right, let's get your altar set up to honor both Gemini's air sign and the fiery Sagittarius sun season. Air and fire together equals flame. Sagittarius, let's rock some purple to symbolize Sagittarius's wisdom. Or maybe you want to use shades of yellow. I dressed in my yellow and all my gold, right? All my gold. I got my Mr. T starter set on right now. Maybe wear all the colors of the rainbow. For Gemini, with their creativity, maybe all the rainbow glitter, like I mentioned earlier, or yellow would be phenomenal, maybe pale blue. And that rainbow actually represents all the facets of the twins and all of the diamond areas that they are rocking along with. For crystals, if you want to rock some crystals, shout out to all my crystal witches out there. I see you, boo. You might want to use the Herkimer diamond. Speaking of facets, the Herkimer diamond is a phenomenal one for Gemini. Or we could do blue lace agate for speaking your truth, as Gemini rules the throat chakra, and maybe aquamarine for clear communication so you can speak your truth. Clear quartz is also a phenomenal one for Gemini because it's magnifying all of the positive energies coming your way during this full moon. And to represent Sagittarius, maybe amethyst to amplify your intuitive insights, or turquoise to protect you in all of your travels. Yes. For flowers, if you wanted to place some flowers on your altar to symbolize both of these signs, freshen up your space with lavender or daisies, both linked to Gemini's airy energies. For scents, maybe you want to burn or diffuse some lemongrass, citrus, or eucalyptus to uplift and clarify your mind. That's another thing during Gemini. They are so fast and they are so flitty, right? Think of a hummingbird or a butterfly. Now, something that will bring those crazy thoughts and all of the spinning gears going on in your brain, maybe bringing them back down to a grounded energy would be fantastic. And if Sagittarius, you want to use anise, cinnamon, or basil to ignite some fire vibes if you wanted to infuse or use some of those for your foods as well. And speaking of foods, maybe you want to create a small offering for your deities, your guides, your goddesses, your spirit squad with a quick snackable food like nuts, seeds, or trail mix, perfect for busy Gemini energy. Or also anything that stimulates the brain, potentially salmon, eggs, turmeric, or maybe some mango, if you feel the need to get a bit more grounded with your badass. Or if you want to do some grounding work, you can use some root vegetables that would help you to anchor down during this windy moon, maybe jicama or sweet potato or yama-lama ding-dongs. Whatever feels good for your practice, that is your practice, and it is meant to be just for you, boo. Now, deities, I already spoke about this, but deities, you might want to work with Mercury or Hermes. Aligns beautifully with this lunation. The little feathers on the shoes, if you remember that little story. So call on the energy of Mercury and or Hermes, same idea. To inspire your journaling, to inspire you doing any communication rituals, to inspire you reaching out to people, maybe creating connections again with lost connections, or also having those clear the air types of talks. If you've been kind of mulling on something or you're maybe a little resentful, maybe, like I said, speak your truth, be authentic, open up your throat chakra and have those clear the air type of talks using a blue lace agate. Or definitely you might want to call on Hermes and Mercury for helping you during those conversations, so to speak. Those maybe conversations, but they have to be had because you speaking your truth is something that we all want from you. Love. Yes, sisters, misters, witches, wizards, I'm talking to all of you. Or if you wanted to call on someone for Sagittarius, you could call on the centaur Chiron for wisdom and knowledge as you transcend limitations during this full moon. You could also use this moon to leave some offerings to the Fae, by the way, the Fae, as the energy of Gemini has been very much compared to that of the Fae folk and the fairies out there. So maybe leaving an offering for the Fae would be great as well on your altar or maybe outside. It's freezing ass cold here in Minnesota right now, so I might not leave anything outside, but something on your altar for those deities, your guides, your goddesses, your ancestors, all of those energies that you work along with. Now, symbols, maybe you want to incorporate feathers into your altars. I wore my feathers for you, my dears, my gold feathers for little Gemini jams. Maybe some birds, like I mentioned, hummingbird flitting from flower to flower, or butterflies to reflect movement and adaptability during this full moon. Add anything to your altar that symbolizes duality, right? Like I said, bringing two energies together as one. Maybe male, female, dark, light, yin, yang, black, white. I've always had a black and a white candle on my altar during Gemini season to represent both sides of the spectrum, as well as I utilize a labradorite and a moonstone. The light and the dark, to me, they're pretty much both the same crystal, so to speak, but they just have the light version and the dark version, the labradorite and the moonstone. So you could do whatever you'd like, but that's just throwing down another idea for you. If you want to rock that, boo, cool, awesome. Or you could throw down something on your altar that represents the twins, or the art of communication, which Gemini is very skilled at. Like I said, they are word witches and wizards. If you want to rock the tarot cards, the tarot card for Gemini is the Lovers, and the tarot card for Sagittarius is Temperance. So you could have both of those on your altar as well. For Sagittarius, if you want to place something on your altar, you could have an arrow, anything that symbolizes exploration or adventure, or anything that helps you expand your mind into pushing that comfort zone into growth mode. If you were to do a tarot reading or rock some journal prompts, maybe you would ask your deck questions such as, what message needs to be communicated right now? That would really plug you into the Gemini moon. What knowledge or truth am I ready to expand upon? That would actually plug you into the Sagittarius sun. How can I align my actions with my words? That would plug you into the overall lunar energy. Or maybe some other ones you wanted to ask are, where am I being pulled in two directions, hindering any movement forward? Or you want to do a soul slap, right? What does Grandmother Moon have for me, and what does she need me to know right now? I always do a soul slap. One of my favorite cards, it always comes up like right in your face. And that's exactly what tarot means to me, is it is reminding you what you already know to be true. But you need a little bit of a push forward, either visually, or you need something to tell you and remind you of what you are meant to be doing or how you are meant to be flowing and growing. So that is tarot. Also, divination is a phenomenal thing to do during this time as you are communicating with the universe, doing a little divination. I always use pendulums during Gemini season. I absolutely love this pendulum. It has a blue lapis lazuli, so great for communication with the other realms, a Merkaba, whatever you want to call it. But doing some divination. Otherwise, you can reach out to me for a tarot reading. Hello, my name is Kitty, and I'm a tarot reader, and I absolutely love connecting with all of you and rocking some tarot. I do live versions on special appointment, or you can get an emailed version sent right to your inbox that you can watch whenever you want, all the time. Yeah? All right, maybe you want to take a moment to reflect on these cards, reflect on your answers, reflect on the questions, and remember the insights you receive may surprise you. But along with Gemini, they are always meant to guide you. Yeah? Rad. Yeah. All right, moving on. One thing I know to be true about my practice, ladies and gents, sisters and misters, to all my guys, gals, and non-binary pals, please always take what you need and leave the rest. Now, I don't have a crazy amount of time to do super elaborate rituals. And guess what, chicken butt? That's motherfucking okay. But because of that, and now I do some rituals like Yule and Bailtina and Samhain. Like I always do big rituals during the big Sabbats of the year, during the wheel of the year. But during each Esbat, during the full moons, the new moons, all that jazz, I don't have a lot of time because, hey, that's just how life goes. But one thing I always want to include in every single episode are quick ways to plug into the current energy for us quick witches and wizards. So here's a few that you can do, Pikachu. You can call up an old friend, maybe your siblings, neighbors, or long-lost cousins, or you can write a heartfelt letter to someone that you have been missing, utilizing your words, really opening up those communication channels. Reach out to people that you miss. Reach out to people that are on your mind. Yes? Another one you can do, Gemini and Sagittarius are imaginative and intellectual and always willing to learn and grow. So make some time to learn something new. Because even a random fact from a YouTube video can spark some joy and spark some excitement into learning and growing and becoming a new version of you. Maybe you want to try a hobby like journaling or doodling or crafting. Any hobby that lets you express yourself freely. The twins are known to be super skilled in the arts, in multiple forms of the arts. So plug into this energy and follow your intuition to lead you into a spark of creativity, especially while you're wearing your gold. Yes. Gemini thrives on connection, so social soirees might be a really great thing, a cool thing to do during this Gemini full moon. Invite some people over, host a casual chat with friends, or maybe attend a networking event. And a lot of times people are like, I'm so scared of those. I have no idea what to say. I've got to get all my shit together and make it look like I'm doing something with my badass self. But just sign up for one and go. And a lot of the times when I go to those network events, I definitely do not regret them. Because if you, with inspired action, the language of the universe, and we'll get into that here in a moment as well, if you show up as an inspired action, like I'm going to do this for myself and I'm open to, universe, show me what I'm here to learn, who I'm here to meet, what I'm here to become. That would be a really rad thing to do as an inspired action step, to play ping pong with the universe. You move, I move, you move, I move. And that's how it goes, Kokomos. Another thing you might want to do is to get an upper body massage or add some intentional breath work into your routine. Gemini rules the arms and the hands and the lungs and the shoulders and the ribs, this upper body area. So maybe show these body parts a little love during this Gemini full moon. Gemini also rules the nervous system. So being aware of your stress levels would be a great way to plug into the vibe of the twins as well. Making time for a little meditation, maybe some mindful movement, and definitely make time for your mental health. Let me say that one more time. Definitely make time for your mental health. Sisters, misters, do it for you. You are worth it. You are worth it. You are worth it. The Gemini energies, known to be a bit of a word witch, as I already mentioned, or wizard, wizards and witches. So rereading a favorite book to see if you can notice new details would be a rad way to plug in, or take time out to fully commit to a new book, or maybe two, because the twins can be a little bit indecisive. And you can multitask. Who said you can't multitask? Because twins, the Gemini twins, are masters at the art of multitasking. So maybe learning a little bit more multitasking awesomeness during this moon as well. And then ask the universe for what you want, proudly and loudly. Shout it out loud. Or let's do another one. Shout, let it all out. Little tears for fears, yeah? Use your throat chakra to speak what you desire into existence. And side bay, I wanted to share this with you. I've actually been using a new way and a little small tweak within my language lately, and it has been going rather swimmingly, so I wanted to share it with all of you, my boos, here in the Magic is Messy Collective. Yeah. So rather than telling the universe what I want, I've been commanding it. Instead of demanding, I've been commanding the universe to show me how to make a genuine intentional change within its energy. For example, show me the way to better care for my body, or show me the best way to follow my higher purpose. Show me an easy way to work with my ideal client. Show me how you do that trick. And this is an actually rad way to flip the universe. It flips asking for what you want into asking the universe to show you the how, so that you can go get it using inspired action steps, which, as we know, sisters and misters, are the language that the universe speaks most fluently. And if the twins are all about talking chitty chatty kitty catties, then why not learn to speak more fluently with the universal powers that are flowing all around you? Yeah. So try that. Don't demand. Let's command. Ask the universe to show you what you need to know or the way you need to go. So then you can make that inspired action step a part of your personal practice. Yes? So let's move into a bigger ritual. Those are some quick ideas that I had for you. I hope that you got something out of that. Boom, bat, kitty, cat. Let's move into a bigger ritual and round out this last full moon of the year And once again, I'm so grateful that you decided to share it with me here, my dears. Thank you so much for being a part of the Magic is Messy collective. Ladies and gents, sisters and misters, the ritual I have for you is called the CEO ritual. And me being the mega rad acronym queen witch that I am, CEO stands for, are you ready for it? Are you ready? Are you ready? A little drum roll, please. Creator of extraordinary opportunity. That's what CEO stands for in my world. And since we just touched on how we can speak more fluently with the universe right above in those quick plugins, use this moon to ask the universe some very specific questions to change your perception and perspective to one that is positive on purpose. And I know we touched on this in the Sagittarius new moon episode, but what we in the Magic is Messy collective lovingly refer to as POP, positive on purpose. Pop life. Everybody needs a thrill. Right? Little Prince for you. Now, being this ritual is asking these questions and giving the universe permission to show you what's going on. Like, right? We're going to ask different questions to receive different answers. It's that simple. So some questions that maybe you want to ask are, what is going right that I may not be seeing? For what reason might this be happening for my greatest good? You're just flipping your perspective and flipping the word and the language of the question to then flip the vibration and the energy of the answer that comes back to you. Yeah? What possibilities are ready to show themselves to me? What is the silver lining of this situation? Or the last one, what is the best that could happen? And I know we touched on that during last episode. What is the best that could happen? Gemini and Sagittarius both know. They both know that when we find the silver lining in what could seem like the most dire of situations, we are changing the vibrations and the frequencies and the boomerangs, like however you'd like to visualize it. We are changing the energies we send into the ether that will eventually make their way back to us. And I know I prompt you with all of this quite often in these episodes, but I only do that because this practice is a muscle. It is a muscle that the more you flex it, the less you forgets it. And also, side bay, I really wanted to say this as well. This is not meant to be some toxic positivity bullshit, because I am not about that life. What this practice is meant to do is boost your brain piece into finding the benefit of situations that may otherwise drain our life force by stealing our power, and that may leave us stuck in the same place, yearning and churning and burning our precious energy away, because ain't nobody got time for that, baby. So if you'd rather not subscribe to the term find the silver lining, then let's flip it up, Buttercup, to be more benefit finding, right? So if you don't want silver lining, let's flip it up into benefit finding. Yeah? Yeah, sure. You betcha. Yeah? So that's what I just wanted to say. And that goes back to literally this whole flipping goes back to what we discussed a little bit earlier about rewriting your story. If you are hanging on to a victim mindset with a poor me mantra, or if you're basing your identity on an outdated version of yourself, or if you're, beating yourself up for mistakes that you made a long ass motherfucking time ago, if you are blaming your past as an excuse to not show up for your present, it is a perfect motherfucking time to do some intentional illuminating into the stories you tell yourself and that you believe as your truth. So switch up your language, boo. Yeah, that's what's up. Language. This is a communicative moon, and it's all about language, being a word witch or wizard, because you have the power to switch up your language and your stories and the way that you ask questions of the universe at any time. Because when you look into the power of words, the pieces of the puzzle that are hindering your progress, you can begin to change the way you feel about the past and step into the person that you now get to. You get to be, chickadees. Because one thing that I know to be true, boo, and take what you need and leave the rest. Always, always. Take what you need and leave the rest. What I know to be true is that you can't change the past. It always remains. but changing the way you feel can rewire the brain. So for this ritual, I challenge you to see who you are from a different angle and see yourself from a completely different facet, and open your mind and allow yourself to adapt and move freely, get that wind vibration on, work with the air, yes, and shift your shape, as Gemini is the shapeshifter, shift your shape into something that makes you excited, into someone that brings out the best in everyone around them because they themselves have done the work to bring the best out as well in themselves. Someone that has taken the time to see the silver lining and partakes in the practice of benefit finding. Someone that has fully embraced being a creator of extraordinary opportunity. So that is really all I have for you, sisters and misters, friends, lovers, sisters and brothers, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. I hope you found a few ways to plug into your practice and enjoy simmering in the energies of this last peak lunation of the year. The full moon in Gemini is a time to celebrate connection, learning, and the power of communication. So whether you're lighting up a group chat or calling your cousins or speaking your truth or diving deep into self-reflection, this energy asks us to balance with the duality of the twins, our hearts and our minds. So don't forget to share your rituals or your tarot pulls or whatever you got out of this episode. Share what you're doing with me, chickadees, and send this episode to all of your peeps on the IGs and the Airwave Land website, interwebs, boom shakalaka shaka khan. Message me on Spotify. Follow me at Magic is Messy on Instagram. Remember, there's currently a rad beeswax giveaway going down, so enter to win and share it with your friends. So thanks and rad vibes going out to all of you, my freaks and geeks and magical peeps, to all of you that are a part of this Magic is Messy collective. I love seeing the ways you choose to work along with the moon, and I also look forward to seeing and connecting with you all again